this lesson, you will operate the display system to go to and use the Circuit Breaker Indication and Control, or EBIC function, and the Electrical System Indication and Control, or ESIC function. You will navigate to the EBIC function and learn about the features of the EBIC menu selections. You will learn about the controls and indications for circuit protection devices, or CPDs. And you will navigate to the ESIC function and learn about the features of the ESIC displays. In this module, you will learn how to navigate to the Circuit Breaker Indication and Control, or EBIC function, and learn about the features of each of the menu selections. EBIC provides a graphical user interface for indications and control of circuit protection devices, or CPDs. EBIC replaces mechanical circuit breakers with solid-state devices. Icons show the state of the CPDs. There are two ways to go to the EBIC function. You can use a maintenance laptop, or you can use a multifunction display, or MFD. You can have as many as 4 EBIC displays active at a time on any combination of maintenance laptops and the MFDs. Use the Captain Lower MFD to go to the EBIC function. That is correct. You use the Systems menu to go to the EBIC function. The Systems menu shows at the top of the status display. Continue. You need to show the EBIC display. Use the CB selection. A EBIC menu replaces the System menu at the top of the display. The OpenTrip CB display is the default EBIC display. This display shows all the circuit protection devices, or CPDs, that are open, tripped, or locked. Select a menu item at the top to see more data. The Flight Deck CB selection shows a category menu. When you select a category, the status of all CPDs for flight deck equipment in that category shows. You need to select each menu item at the top. The CB by state selection shows a menu that lets you look at CPDs by their condition. The states are tripped, open, locked, or unknown. The CB search selection lets you search for a circuit breaker by the CB name or number. You use a multifunction keypad, or MFK, to enter the text string. The CB by ATA selection lets you look at CPDs by ATA chapter and subchapter. The CB by location selection lets you look at CPDs by a specific aircraft location. The Recent Used CB selection shows a list of the most recently used CPDs. The Update List selection becomes available when the list is not current. The CB Custom List selection shows a submenu that lets you look at the CPDs for predefined procedures. Each airline can modify this list. Good. You showed the submenus for the EBIC display. In this module, you will learn how to use the EBIC displays to search for and control circuit protection devices, or CPDs. This is the default page for the Circuit Breaker Indication and Control, or EBIC function. There are no current open or tripped CBs. Use the CB search display to find a circuit breaker. You can search by the CB number or the CB name. You can enter a full or partial number or name. The system will return everything that matches your entry. You use a multifunction keypad, or MFK, to enter the text string. Search for the CB. First, activate the area you want to use, then enter the data. After you enter the CB number, you select Search, and the system finds your circuit breaker. You can also search by the state of a CB, search by ATA, or search by location with these buttons. Now open the circuit breaker. This is the Open dialog box. Continue. The CB is now open. To close the CB, you would use the same process and select Close. Now lock the CB with a Do Not Close tag so you can do maintenance. Lock is a control function. This is the first lock dialog box. Continue. This is the second lock dialog box. There are several steps to complete here. First, you have to select a tag. Do Not Close requires a reason. INOP does not. Continue. Next, select a reason. Select the tag for your situation. After you enter your name, date, and information, the OK button becomes available. Select OK to see the tag. The CB is now locked. To unlock the CB, you would use the same process and select Unlock and follow the instructions on the dialog boxes. The reason causes different dialog boxes to show. Now see what the data selection shows. This display shows the data related to the circuit breaker. You can add this CB to the list of recent used CBs, or you can exit and return to the CB search display. You have learned how to search, open, close, lock, and unlock circuit breakers. You also learned how to show data for a CB. In this module, you will learn how to navigate to the electrical system indication and control ESIC display, and learn about the features of each of the display selections. You use ESIC to control or lock out contactors that are not part of CBIC. Use the Captain Inboard MFD to access the ESIC function. You need to show System menu. Use the System switch on the key. That is correct. You need to use the Systems menu at the top of the status display. Continue. You need to show the ESIC menu. Continue. You need to show the ESIC menu. Use the Maintenance Control page. Continue. This is the top-level ESIC page. The page is in read-only mode until you put the ground test switch to the Enable position. When the page is active, you can make changes to the contactors. Make the ESIC page active. Make the ESIC page The ESIC page is now active. Move the cursor over the power panels. The panel highlights. Select the P100 panel. The top part of the display shows a schematic of the P100 panel. The bottom part of the display shows the status of bus tie breakers, or BTBs, auto transformer rectifier unit contactors, or ATRUCs, and auto transformer unit contactor, or ATUC, and lets you control the state of these components. Move the cursor over an area in the bottom part of the display. The related component highlights on the schematic. Select the green arrow to continue. Lock and tag the L3 BTB. Continue. 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 Notice that L3 BTB symbol on the schematic changed and the status and tag now shows at the bottom of the display. To remove the tag, you select Auto and then follow the information. Now return to the Maintenance Controls menu. Go back to the Maintenance Controls menu. Good. You navigated to the ESIC function and learned about the display selections. You now should be able to operate the display system to go to and use the Circuit Breaker Indication and Control, or CIBIC function, and the Electrical System Indication and Control, or ESIC function. First, you learned how to navigate to the CIBIC displays and learned about the functionality of each of the CIBIC displays. Next, you learned about the CIBIC CPD indications and controls. Then you learned how to navigate to the ESIC displays and control CPDs on these displays.